Good day. Now let's see how we can compute resultant in each of these two questions. So, solution. Question 1. Let's redraw the diagram here. We have 5 Newton here, and then we have 4 Newton here. Then the angle between them is 30 degrees. So according to parallelogram's law of vector addition, we need to complete the parallelogram. So there must be, let's draw a line that is parallel to 5 Newton here. Here will also be 5 Newton, and another one parallel to the 4 Newton. Here will also be 4 Newton. Now this is the point of action. Then we draw a diagonal from the point of action. This diagonal represents the resultant in both magnitude and direction. Now if we extend the line for 4 Newton, let's extend it. That means there is an angle here which is corresponding to 30 degrees. It's also 30 degrees. Then there will be a remaining angle here. Since this is a straight line, the remaining angle here will be 180 minus 30, which will give me 150 degrees. So this is a complete diagram. Now we can compute the resultant using our formula. R squared equal to F1 squared plus F2 squared plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. Now if you are using cos 180 minus theta, which is 150, you can use the 150, but this will be negative so that you can get the same result. Now R squared will be equal to take anyone as F1 and take anyone as F2. So I want to take 5 Newton as F1 and 4 Newton as F2. So I will have 5 squared plus 4 squared plus 2 times 5 times 4 cos theta. My theta is 30 degrees. So let's compute. R squared will be equal to F squared. 5 squared is 25. 4 squared is 16. Plus 2 times 5, 10, 10 times 4, we have 40 times cos 30, and cos 30 is 0.8660. That's cos 30. Now we need to add 25 plus 16. That's going to give me 41. 41 plus 40 times 0.8660. Let's press our calculator for that. 40 times 0.8660. 0.8660. That gives me 34.64. So let's put the two together. So plus 41, that will give me 75.64. Now we need to get R by taking the square root of both sides, as R equal to square root of 75.64. That will give me square root of 75.64. That gives me 8.6971. So R will be approximately equal to, now I want to leave my answer in 2 decimal place. That's 8.70 Newton. So that's the resultant, but the resultant is not completely specified by its magnitude only. We need to get the direction. Now I can produce an angle here called alpha, produce another angle here called beta. Now if I complete this for 4 cardinal points, here will be my north, here will be my west, and this is where I will have the east, and south will be downward here. I need to know the angle that the resultant makes with the north. That's if I'm using compass bearing. So even if I'm using true bearing, it will still be the same in this case. So we have 5 Newton here. Now this alpha is the direction of the resultant with respect to the 4 Newton force. That is the angle that the resultant makes with the 4 Newton force. If we get that, that will help us to get this, because the whole of this let's put an angle here called gamma. If we add gamma and alpha together, we get 90 degrees. This is perpendicular. Perpendicularity. Gamma plus alpha, they have two complementary angles. How do we find alpha? Now we can use sine rule to get our alpha. We just say 5 Newton all over the sine of the angle it is facing. That's 5 all over sine alpha equal to 4 Newton all over the sine of the angle it is facing. That's 4 Newton all over sine beta. And finally, R all over sine of the angle it is facing. R over sine 150. Now, if we look at this relation, we will see that this will not give us problem because we already know our resultant and we know 150. So these complete known terms. But this is, there is unknown here, there is unknown here. Let's use this and this together as 5 all over sine alpha equal to R all over sine 150. When we cross multiply, we can, okay, let me substitute for R first. F 5 all over sine alpha equal to R, which is 80.70, but I like to use it up to 4 decimal places for more accuracy. 8.6971 all over sine 150. Cross multiply. So we have 8.6971 sine alpha equal to 5 times sine 150. Now, sine alpha will now be equal to 5 times sine 150 divided by 8.6971. So sine alpha will now be equal to, now multiply that together and divide by the denominator. That's 5 times sine 150 divided by 8.6971. That gives me 0.2875 to 4 decimal place. That means alpha will be equal to arc sine of 0.2875. Let's press our calculator for that. That's arc sine of 0.2875. That gives me 16.7083. Now approximately to 2 decimal places we have 16.71 degree. That's my alpha. Now I can now completely state, no, before that I can get my gamma. That means gamma, since gamma and alpha are complementary angles, they add up to 90. So that means gamma will be 90 minus alpha, and alpha is 16.71. 90 minus 16.71. That gives me 73.29 degree to 2 decimal place. So that's gamma. I can now completely state my resultant. That means resultant R equal to 8.70 Newton in the direction north. Gamma, which is 73.29 degree east. So because this is not eastern direction. So that is the complete specification of my resultant. Thank you for viewing this. Meet me in the next video. I will solve question 2 in the next video.